All right, guys. Well, after a pretty exciting first match week, we've got match week 2 coming up this weekend. This is Red Card Radio. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, whenever you're listening from. Thanks for tuning in. Red Card Radio is a weekly look at the Premier League. We're talking match week 2 this weekend. I'm James. I support Arsenal. That's Brad. He supports Chelsea. He's over there, actually. Down below, that's Sean. He supports Tottenham. Boys, did you guys enjoy your midweek of no football?
What do you mean? There was football this week.
No, man. Like, so we had Premier League last weekend. Now we had to wait all week for Premier League again. What are you talking about?
No. There's European football.
No, there's not. The Champions League hasn't started yet.
Play-ins.
Yeah, there's play-ins for the Conference League and Champions League and Europa League. There's all 3 leagues have already started, sir.
Imagine my shame if my team had to do that.
It has in the past, so like don't throw rocks at glass ships.
I can't remember the last time we had a play-in game.
Europa.
No. We've when we
6 you have one playing game.
No. Now you do. We didn't have a play-in game when we went to the Europa League a couple years ago. And I think we made it. I think we qualified for the Europa League based on winning the FA Cup, if I'm not mistaken. I'm trying to think about that. It's been a long time since Arsenal had to play like a qualification game, playoff game. I'm just saying.
Chelsea has a midweek game, and you know what's exciting about this?
Tell me, Brad.
Reece James made the roster. Let's see if he plays. He probably is starting right now, or he's going to get some minutes in the game.
Yeah, he's absolutely
as playing. This is launching. As this is coming out, you guys are going to listen to this while you're watching the game, watching Reece James dominate.
I think we haven't necessarily decided when we're releasing this episode yet, so maybe it was yesterday, maybe it's right now.
Yeah. One of those. Like, either you watch Reece James be awesome, or you're watching him be awesome.
I bet he gets injured.
Okay, all right. That would be something else. You want to know?
Safest bet there is in sports.
You want to know where he's not?
I'm not wishing for it. I want that to be on the record. I'm not wishing for it.
So
but
reflected.
I bet he does.
So reflected. You know where Reece James will not be playing this weekend? At the Molineux against Wolves. He's not doing that.
No.
All right. So 10 games this weekend. A couple interesting ones. One that is not going to be interesting at all. That is City versus Ipswich from the Etihad. Just quick rapid fire. How many goals does Manchester City score against Ipswich in this game?
Oh,
6.
Yeah, like over 4.5. The spread will be about 5.
You're taking over 4.5?
I'm taking over 4.5.
I'll take under 4.5 then.
Ooh.
I don't know what we're wagering, but probably just
We're putting a couple bones on it.
Just the smack talk. Just smack talk. That's what we do.
Okay. I mean, I'd have bought you a basket of wings from Buffalo Wild Wings.
Ooh, our bone to pick. Our
as long as they sponsor.
Yo, we need to make a compilation of all the times we've talked about Buffalo Wild Wings
and just keep posting it to X until they give us money.
Oh man, that's funny. All right,
we're not even asking for much, just like a hundy or a couple wings here and there. We're not even asking for a lot. Our negotiating skills are not very good.
We are terrible at this. You said, hey, you get 6 free wings each like month or something like that. We're like, cool. Yeah. We'll talk about you all the time. We got plenty of bones to pick.
Bro, we do it for free right now. Like, what's
right now?
Oh, okay. Oh,
favorite segment, guys.
Where are we starting? Do you guys want to start at the top of the table, in the middle of the table? Because I walked away when you in pre-production, and you guys highlighted games. So I don't know where we're starting.
I think let's work from the bottom up.
Okay.
All right.
Let's do
Southampton Forest. This could be a relegation 3-pointer.
Okay.
Ooh, we're starting at 3 points.
I gotta start the counter low here.
He started.
3-pointer. All right. No, yeah, I agree. It's at Southampton, which Southampton used to be a very tough stadium. I don't know if they still are.
Just quick.
St. Mary's very tough to play.
Quick, just point of point of order for me. Are we basing the relegation 6-pointer, 3-pointer, whatever, based on current league position?
No,
it's based
Okay.
on nothing
No.
because the
I know what you're
relegation
going there.
6-pointer
Good
is the
job.
dumbest
Good
thing I've ever
job.
heard in my life.
Because I'm just saying, like, if we're
No,
doing off
there is
current,
no basis of anything.
if it's current
We're doing-
league position, Spurs Everton could be a relegation 3-pointer as well. So
Ooh,
No,
6-pointer. Got you.
no.
I put it up the second one, so it's a 6-pointer.
okay, so Southampton Forest from St. Mary's. What are we thinking here? What do you see here?
Both teams are I think, I don't know Southampton's team, so let me clarify. Forest didn't really do a ton, unless I'm missing somebody that they've signed or changed or sold.
Yo, word on the street, they could be signing Eddie and Nketiah. I'm just saying.
Yeah, they're trying to get a striker in. If they get a striker in early enough, I mean, they can bank some goals maybe, but I don't know. I mean, Forrest with Chris Wood, he's gonna he's gonna get at least one somehow.
Well, yeah, Chris Wood is the ever professional goal scorer. So I don't know if they need another striker. They may need a supporting cast to get him the ball. But Southampton looked really good at St. James's Park. They really did. And Joel can probably attest to that it was not but even before the red card, it was not an easy showing. I mean, they got that red card in his own defensive half.
Yeah.
So like it wasn't a one-sided affair before the red card. And then they just happened to score on a counter. Like Southampton were giving it back just as much as Newcastle were giving it to them. So maybe Newcastle are not going to be a pushover, or maybe Southampton are not going to be a pushover here.
I
You
think
also have. Go ahead. You go
no,
first.
I was just gonna say, I don't think we can read that much into the first game, the first 30 minutes of your first game back in the Premier League after a year out of it. In the same way that I don't think we should take too much away from Leicester or anything. We shouldn't draw any conclusions. We shouldn't look at any positions or point totals or anything like that for at least 10 match weeks, as you all know I'm very, very zealous about. But especially after the first match week, like, of course Southampton's going to be up for that game. Of course they're going to bring it to Newcastle. Like they want to be like, yeah, we belong here. And maybe that might be their furthest trip of the entire year from Southampton up to Newcastle last weekend. So get out of the way early.
No, yeah, I agree. And Forest and Bournemouth, we've already seen were levels. They leveled last time. Ipswich falling out the first half against Liverpool, I don't think is gonna keep. So I agree with you, James, is what I'm trying to say. And that that first game, it is their first home game though. So there probably will still be up for this. And that's why it's interesting, right? Because I think if this is later in the season, or if this is at Forest, then I think Forest walk it. But because it is at Southampton, at St. Mary's, then I think they stand a chance to get something from it.
Is Nuno still the manager at Nottingham Forest?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I was just curious. Couldn't remember.
Yep. Shall we jump up to the?
I'm just gonna say, as a parting shot, I expect Nottingham Forest to win this game. That's my expectation going into this game. I'm just saying.
I think they have more offensive firepower, so I think they will actually get a goal. But I think Southampton will probably struggle.
Could be a good game. Where are we going, Brad? Where are we going?
I think we were climbing up the table just a little bit further to the mid-table, or what will be the mid-table. Brighton versus United.
Ooh, from the Amex. We're actually not going that far from Southampton.
No, just down the street. Man United did not look good last week against a Fulham team. And Brighton banged out Everton. Easy schmeezy. Like, yeah, that was not good. So like, we'll see what Brighton's made of, and we'll see if United can actually do something. You got a face that says you think United played better, or you think this is going to be a less interesting game.
No, that's a face of, yeah, I actually do think this is going to be an interesting game. My gut reaction is that United should have enough firepower to see it through, but they were unconvincing last week. Absolutely.
Very much so.
and I think that they've picked up some additional injuries, if I'm not mistaken. Didn't somebody leave the game early for United because of injuries and stuff? I don't know, maybe.
I don't know.
Brighton also were very like they scored a lot of goals. Now maybe that's more a statement against Everton necessarily than it was for Brighton. I didn't get to watch the Everton Brighton game because I was watching the Arsenal game at the same time, and so I don't have a good read for how Brighton looked. But and even still, like it's historically hard to say because it's a new manager. It's not De Zerbi anymore, so it's not like I can be like, well, thinking about them last year. So that's not a helpful way to think about it. So I'm kind of in the dark here. I did watch Manchester United last weekend, and I thought that they were okay. I thought they looked like a team that probably could have had another 2 weeks of preseason to kind of like really iron out all the kinks and things like that. And
Sure.
that I think come November, United's going to be a well-oiled machine, and they're going to be a very difficult ask. But I could see Brighton getting a result here. My brain is leaning towards draw at this very moment.
Nah.
Is Brighton?
Well,
Is
DeLitt will
Evan
probably.
Ferguson injured?
I don't know.
I don't know. I think right now
he was not on.
He
wasn't on the field or on the bench.
He was injured last year. I don't know if he's healthy. But Minta looked really good. João Pedro, like their attack looked good with Minta, Pedro, and Welbeck last week. So like it was still strong enough.
Still got Kairu Matuma. They still have him.
Yep. DeLitt will be playing probably.
Ferguson
DeLitt
is
will be
injured.
in there.
Ferguson is injured. Oh, it was Lisandro Martinez. Didn't he go out with like a concussion or something like that?
No, that was Bentancur. Bentancur went out with a concussion in the Spurs game.
Oh,
I don't know if you're combining the two. Maybe.
Could have sworn.
But you're gonna DeLitt and Harry Maguire starting for. I couldn't even finish. I'm sorry, I couldn't even get that out of my mouth. Starting for United with Onana. So like, I don't know. I think I'm going Brighton at home.
I think
it'll be fun to laugh at United.
You also just want to laugh at United.
I love laughing at United. It's one of my favorite things to do. It's one of the reasons why we created Red Card Radio.
That's true.
If you remember.
That's a fair point.
Until somebody, one of the three of us, I don't know, they took the word co out of their X profile and all of a sudden became a United apologist.
The person who has had host in his X profile has always had host. It never said co-host. And I've never been a United apologist. I have eyes.
We can rewind the tape on that one. Tell you something different. Oh, I see. No, United are good. Okay. But no, I'm going Brighton.
Okay.
Sean, how you feeling?
This is Brighton. Sure.
Thanks. And they got their new American coach. I'm down for this. They keep finding these awesome managers. Let's go. All right, James.
I see here we've got Palace, West Ham, and Fulham, Leicester italicized on our rundown. You think this is just kind of like even levels type situation?
Yeah. We think there could be spice there. It might not just be like
the cumin,
cumin,
maybe some cardamom,
yeah,
ginger, perhaps.
Add some flavor to this. Palace West Ham is a London derby.
True.
We gotta get our London table started here shortly.
Did we have anything last week? We had Brentford Palace last week. So Brentford are presently sitting atop
of the table.
And if you ask, I think it was Sean 2 years ago, Aston Villa is tied with 3 points in the London Derby table.
Sean geography, yes.
A couple years ago.
But so they're
basically West Ham. Yeah.
I think there's spice there. Palace are playing well as long as Eze keeps trying to score goals. West Ham has 1,000,001 signings. They had a really good summer per se, but let's see if the players can play.
Very active summer.
Yes. And then Fulham Leicester, that sounds interesting. And maybe this is just and we'll see as this goes on, right? Because I think we're predicting, like, we all have a higher opinion of Leicester than what their table position says we should. So I'm interested to see if we get Leicester from 21-22 or if we get Leicester from 22-23.
Yeah. I hope that we get a competitive Leicester, generally speaking, as long as they're not competitive against Arsenal. If they're competitive against everyone else, I'm happy. So,
all right. So, James, you want to take this away? The Villa Arsenal battle, the main match. I would say, and I think as Red Card Rated, I think Sean agrees. I think you agree that this is the match of the weekend. Yeah, Villa Arsenal. Unai welcoming his former team, Villa Park.
Yeah, I think Arsenal, this is game number 1 of a very torrid stretch for Arsenal. I think we have Villa this week, Brighton next week, City maybe, and then Spurs, I think is what it is. I think our first 5 games, like it went Wolves, Villa, Brighton, City, Spurs.
Flip it, Spurs, City.
Spurs and then City. Okay, and Spurs is at home, City is away, right?
Yes.
Yeah, and so I am certainly not looking forward to this match. I am glad. I'm happy that we're playing Villa away at Villa Park in August. Just because they've had a few signings this summer, and so they've got players that need to settle, and we have not really. Nothing's really affecting the way that we play. We went to Villa Park last year. We lost because we didn't score any goals. And I think that if we come with a little bit more urgency this year, then scoring goals at Villa Park is possible. I'm cautiously optimistic, but this has historically not been a very good. Over the last couple of years, it's been a difficult place to play. So I hope Arsenal win. I just don't know. I think I'm taking Arsenal from the outset, but this is going to be a tough game. Villa's really good.
Yeah, this is, I think, a very interesting game. We get to see what Arsenal are made of early on. Are you guys up for this? Because, like you said last year, these were points dropped. These were the reasons why these games are the reasons why you didn't lift the trophy.
If Arsenal beat Aston Villa just one time last year, we would have been Premier League champions.
Yep.
We dropped 6 points to Villa last year. We dropped 4 points to Fulham last year, and so we would have won the league last year if we beat Villa even one time. So, yeah, I mean, I don't know, like that, and it gives me trepidation. But I think just my heart tells me that Arsenal are better than Villa.
I mean, and European football hasn't started for either club.
True.
I think Arsenal are more prepared for European football than Villa are. So I think Villa will be up for this game. And it's Unai against Arsenal. Like, he wants to destroy Arsenal. I would if I was him.
His biggest beef should be with AFTV, not with Arsenal, the club. We as a club treated him very fairly. I think it's just the internet fans were mean to him, made fun of the way he spoke.
I think the villains get it done, or it's a draw.
Interesting.
I'm going Villa or draw. Villa or push. Sean, what are you thinking? What are you thinking here? You think Arsenal can start their title push early?
I think what James says is pretty consistent. Is that their team is largely intact, whereas Villa has some plug and play situations, and Arsenal's just going to be too much. It's going to be an Arsenal win here, and that's going to be the points they needed from last year, and maybe they'll drop them somewhere else. I hope they do, but yeah, I think they'll pick up the points they dropped last year.
I worry about goal scoring, just because we Kai Havertz scored a header and Saka scored a beautiful goal in the second half. Both were created in large parts by Saka, because Saka provided the pass to Havertz. It was a beautiful pass. and then he created the goal. But I think that if of any of the managers in the Premier League, Unai is going to be most prepared for anything that Saka is going to do. So I think that he is going to be. I don't think Saka is going to get a lot of joy. This to me screams like a Leandro Trossard goal, because he is kind of that little magician that can kind of create something out of nothing. Ideally, I'm a big Gabriel Martinelli fan, but I think I would rather see Leandro Trossard start this match over Martinelli. I think that would be maybe a different dynamic on the other side. So
interesting.
Yeah. I think the other games that we didn't really mention, we got Bournemouth, Newcastle, Wolves, Chelsea, Liverpool, Brentford. I think generally speaking, we expect Newcastle to beat Bournemouth, Liverpool to beat Brentford. And you would kind of hope that Chelsea beat Wolves, but that could be, I think, an interesting game.
Little Spice
got Neto returning to the Molineux. You think that there's any bananas thrown at him?
You know what? The crowd might hate on him.
They might.
But I mean, we paid a fair market value. It's not our fault Wolves didn't want any of our players. I love Sean getting mad when I'm like, we paid fair market value. Like we didn't.
There's a fair market value for your hotels too. Yeah.
Hey, look, man, take that up with Levy.
We're not in a position that we need to sell our hotels or our stadium or anything. We are financially good. You guys are the guys that need to worry about that.
Yeah, I mean, look, when you got to add an attachment for the trophies, you're probably gonna have to sell something.
Have you thought about selling your TV rights? I hear there's a club in Spain that they highly recommend it.
And their marketing rights.
Yeah.
The levers. No, I think I don't see where the goals come from.
What economic lever is sell the hotels?
That's the balance the books lever, sir.
Oh, that's funny.
That's the 75 million COVID money for United.
Yeah, that's okay. Wow, we're in the weeds.
We are so in the weeds. I don't know where the goals come from for Wolves. Just now, I mean, Altnieri might, but he's also your left back. Kuna hasn't shown good. Like, I don't think they have. Larson didn't really show good, so I don't think they have enough goals to do it.
I guess we'll find out on Sunday. I think that's the afternoon kickoff or the late kickoff on Sunday.
It's the morning kickoff.
Are they both all the same? Are they both the same time?
There's 2 at 9, 1 at 11:30.
Okay. Oh, is Liverpool Brentford not on Monday? Is my rundown messed up?
Liverpool Brentford is Sunday at 11:30.
Oh man, I screwed up my own rundown. Well, get your picks in to our Discord. We will have ours in, I hope, by Saturday morning. Hopefully hopefully we'll post them Friday afternoon. I don't know. But we're reserving ourselves a little bit more time to think about these picks than we did last year.
Yes.
But you should do so as well. Join our Discord. It's in the description of this video. And we hope to see your picks there. Hit us up on Twitter. That guy up top, it's at KSBradG. Down below, it's at Whiteheart_Sean. I am at James Tiffany. Collectively at redcard_radio. Again, that's all on X. And info.redcardradio@gmail.com if you want to reach us. But until then, I hope you all enjoy this weekend. This is the penultimate weekend before the first international break, so we better get excited. But we will see you all next week. Have a good one.